So, what's the temperature today?
It's 35 degrees. We don't have much time, so we better hurry this.
That's how I feel every time I hit record.
That's how I feel like editing when I see the markers come in.
You guys don't know the pain of keeping this podcast alive.
Oh goodness, it's a big process, yeah. Especially long episodes, you know. So probably this one's gonna be long at the time of this recording. I don't know, but I don't know.
We're gonna have to rely on printer paper PNGs pretty soon.
Yeah, man, that like high quality PNGs, no joke. You got to make sure you get them. I hope you guys make it long enough to actually enjoy these fade-in transitions. But yeah. What I see, 1 minute 34
That's
seconds
how they feel at the first start of the episode.
after the logo. Oh man, it's I don't know. We got plenty of news at least today, which is fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of news. We missed a lot.
Yeah.
Damn, are we on episode? I mean, episode.
That's our
news
official
discussion 8.
Yes,
I believe
we haven't done it in a while. We've been doing a lot of reviews, so it's good to get back to formula. Like our first video on YouTube was a news discussion. Yeah, I mean, and then we also got a lot of fun shit coming towards for you guys coming pretty soon. I can't wait for you guys to see that. So
yeah, definitely check out if you haven't our John Cena interview. It's definitely watch worthy. Akram put a lot of
then cuts Laugon Ma.
I just destroyed 7 people's ears on a morning commute just now.
Yeah. Rest in peace to our Anchor followers as well. Yeah, guys, follow us on our Anchor too. If you dig like not looking at our ugly faces and you just rather hear our
speak for yourself. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty good looking. Even though if you're listening to us, you can hear our handsomeness.
That's some neat trick.
This is literally the sound of our good looks right now.
Zooms in.
All he sees is the worm.
Yeah, that's how it feels. Well, tell us a story about that beanie, by the way. Are you promoting something? Are you sponsoring anything today?
Oh no, this is Pablo.
Pablo can fucking do the editing for me.
Pablo the robot. It's actually a speaker, guys. It's a Gravistar speaker, which I will mention in our collectibles episode coming very soon.
Oh, we have a collectibles episode coming soon.
Sneak episode.
Hey.
That's my answer for that. But yes, we will have a collectibles episode coming soon in time for Valentine's Day if you guys are interested. So be sure to like and subscribe. Check us out. We also have a link tree in our Instagram I added a couple days ago. So we're working on getting Apple Podcasts. I promise, guys, I will get it done by the end of the month. Don't quote me, no, because I'm bad with promises. But but yeah, we got a lot more fun content coming for you guys soon. So, all right, I guess we should start the episode. Hey guys, welcome to the Lunch Table Podcast with Dylan and Akram, your podcast for news and reviews on what's happening in entertainment today. We're coming at you guys with our news discussion today because we haven't done one in a minute. There's a lot of trending stories we have to talk about. Akram, why don't you start us off with your hot tea for today?
Well, actually, this is great because we have a lot of Marvel news for you guys.
A lot of Marvel news.
Yeah, a lot of leaks, rumors, and set photos that we'd love to share with everyone. So starting off, actually, the Moon Knight trailer just dropped. We got an official release date. We also have a leaked image. And it's going to come out on March 30th. Disney Plus. I believe that's what is it, Dylan? Like every Wednesday, I believe.
Usually every Wednesdays, yeah.
Yeah, it's strange. Yeah, after Loki, they started to do that. But as we see in the trailer, we see more of Oscar Isaac's character. I think it was one of the...
They called him Steve in the trailer. I'm not sure if that's one of his alter ego or his aliases in the comics. But I know they did say Mark. So we are getting the Mark Spector
the mercenary
alias.
guy. Yeah, right. So that's really great. Suit reveal, or official, I guess, suit reveal as well. We've seen some leaks before in the past. Finally, we get to see that scene where he's punching down on some type of werewolf. I wonder what character that is. He's a very obscure character, Moon Knight. So he doesn't have like a lot of villains that are like out there. But I'm positive that soon we're going to see more comics and more stuff expanding on the lore. But tell us what you thought about the trailer.
Yeah, I love the trailer, man. It was very dark. It's definitely going to show a darker side of Marvel that we've kind of already seen with Doctor Strange, and hopefully they find a way to incorporate Daredevil. I'm predicting that we are possibly going to get a Marvel Knights kind of like series like down the line, because Mahershala Ali was kind of like briefly cameoed in End of Eternals with Black Knight. So I feel like him, Black Knight, Moon Knight, and maybe hopefully Daredevil, possibly Punisher too, because I think Punisher was part of the Marvel Knights in the old run, might band together. Who knows? But I think it's really cool. I love the costume for Moon Knight. I just love that very like Egyptian, like mummified look. They did such a really good take on it. Like you always talk about like how Disney does a good job with costume designing. So I really love that. I think the werewolf actually might be one of his villains from the comics. I think that's Werewolf by Night. I'm not sure if that's going to be Kevin Bacon's character in the show, because we did kind of see him too. But what are your predictions?
Yeah, well, for Werewolf right by Night, as you mentioned. Yeah, there's a Halloween special actually. It hasn't been announced yet, but there is an official casting. And we're gonna see that like probably this year later on, I would imagine. Hopefully, I don't know if that's gonna be like a mini series or something like that. Another obscure character. But we could get maybe there's another character. He's like Frankenstein or something like that. We could probably get like that type of or a zombie guy, zombie boy, or somebody. There's like a character like that. We could probably get more into darker MCU stuff, right? I think that we're going to speak about that a little bit later. But Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness also will get into horrific elements. Moon Knight getting into violent elements. Everything contributes to something now. It's all about the bigger picture. I love this. I love Oscar Isaac. I can't wait to see how this unfolds. Embrace the chaos, right, as their tagline. So yeah, really exciting stuff. I think we're gonna get a total of 6 episodes. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure 6 episodes. And you guys obviously can expect us to do a week by week review of that. And so we're really excited. So
yeah, and we even saw the appearance of Khonshu, which is the god of the moon, which
correct.
was that bird looking thing. That was the most terrifying part of that trailer for me, actually. And then we kind of got like that cool. I love that that Kid Cudi theme with the day and night. It's so funny because Moon Knight is all about like multiple personalities, and Kid Cudi actually had like different names in his rapper career, so it's so appropriate. But yeah, and then I should also mention too, on a more tragic note, Gasper Ulliel, he starred in the young Hannibal in Hannibal Rising from 2007. Unfortunately passed away couple weeks, or was it last week, I think?
Yeah.
Pretty young. He was 37. He passed away during a ski accident, and he was set to be in this show, unfortunately. So respects to his family out there.
Sure.
But moving forward, what other Marvel news do you have for us?
So, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, rumors and leaks.
Let's go.
Yes, there's an official promo image there that you can see that's been leaked ahead of time. There's also, as we've mentioned before in our Spider-Man No Way Home review that you guys could also check out, that there are official Marvel Legends figures, that we got some Defender Strange costume, which looks great.
Ooh,
very unique
okay.
look.
Like classic Defender comics, Strange.
Yeah, it's like it's the red black, and Jerry Wilson, actually, he's one of the artists who work on the back of the Marvel Legends, or just like box art, right, for Marvel Legend figures. So that was his concept art that was like leaked there. It looked wonderful. I can't wait to see that. Also, we've seen some more leaks actually on Reddit. So this is from like an unconfirmed source, but this person said they went through a lot of like risks just to post this, so maybe it'll get deleted eventually. So take this with a grain of salt, with any rumor or leak. But we'll post that down the whole thread in the description below, so you guys can see that, check the whole details. But there's like a lot of stuff. Like apparently Wanda, spoiler alert, is going to be the main villain of this film. So she actually, okay, I'll give you guys just for some Wendy William tea. How you doing, Wendy? I'll tell you, I'll tell you the beginning part, right? So the beginning part basically is Doctor Strange, America Chavez, and Wong are running away from these demons, and Doctor Strange, Wong is killed. America Chavez, her power is to open up different like portals to like different multiverse or just different universes, right? And she finds the main MCU, and she's trying to look for this universe is Doctor Strange. So she finds him, tells him what's going on. He goes to Wanda, and apparently Wanda knows because Wanda sent the demons to kill Doctor Strange and Wong from a different universe. Yeah, so she's actually like, she's kind of like Sidious, like in the background, and we can kind of see that. It makes sense. Like some of the images we've seen in the trailer, she looks very evil, and we're also going to get a lot of characters here. Apparently they did reshoot the film to include a lot of cameos. I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home was like huge, right? I don't know if I should spoil it or not, but if you guys know,
if you haven't seen it by now, come on.
Well, that's true, but I mean that opened up the door, so we might see some more characters from, for example, the X-Men universe, Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider. That's some like rumors. So
that's interesting. I was gonna mention because that's very much, it's reminding me of House of M storyline where like Wanda manipulates reality. But yeah, I've been hearing a lot of things too about multiverse, possibly an X-Men appearance. Who knows if it's from the older franchise from Fox. I also heard possibly this might be fake, but Tom Cruise is apparently playing Iron Man.
That's there in a Reddit leak. If you guys check it out, man, it's crazy. His character,
like we said, grain of salt, but wouldn't it just be funny if? Right. And I would love to see Nicolas Cage back as Ghost Rider. Because imagine if you bring him in and then he's part of like Marvel Knights too. I want Marvel Knights so bad right now.
I could tell. Yeah, no, me too. That's crazy. Yeah, check out the leak. Check out the rumors here. It is crazy. Tom Cruise's character apparently is like some type of like god complex he has or whatever, and apparently he has like 3 Infinity Stones with him, which is crazy. So I don't know. I mean, Tom Cruise hasn't really been much. They delayed Mission Impossible, so I'm not really sure what projects he has. I think his schedule's probably open for this. Wouldn't
it be crazy too if Deadpool found his way too? Because remember Kevin Feige did say Deadpool was going to find his way into the MCU, so maybe this is the movie that does it for him. Who knows?
I really would love that. I think that that'll be great. I think this could introduce really mutants and stuff because it's about time. I mean, we have Fantastic Four coming out like way back in the schedule. We also have like X-Men reports of them trying to find like different directors and stuff like that. So the sky is the limit really, and I just can't wait. But what else do we have, Dylan? Do you want to talk more about some MCU
well,
news?
The next big event is Secret Wars. So there were some leaked set photos with Emilia Clarke. And Sam Jackson is back, but man, he looking real old in retirement right now.
I know he's wearing your beanie, but just in red.
Right. But yeah, this storyline is gonna be crazy because the Skrulls are such another big comic event in Marvel Comics. So apparently they're doing it differently in this storyline because they made the Skrulls good guys in Captain Marvel. But now there's going to apparently be a faction, possibly led by Super Skrull, who is a big Fantastic Four villain also. So it'll be cool to see like the Skrulls, like how they change the game. And I wonder if this is just going to be like a one-shot movie with them, or that it's going to have like a bigger impact like down the line. But what are your predictions?
I think that it will have like a bigger impact down the line. I just feel like everything they're producing now has something to contribute to the universe. And I think they're doing this because it paves the way to keep the MCU running for years. We haven't had anything like this, I mean, except Star Wars, right? Or Star Trek, right? So I think this is like the trinity of like those type of like famous pop culture phenomenon that will always continue around, always stay around. And actors are getting older, so perhaps it'll have to do something with the Skrulls. I don't know. Emilia Clarke's character looks really interesting. My predictions
Yeah,
for
who do you think
her.
she's gonna play?
Yeah, I don't know. I think she is a Skrull. Like my thing is, I think that there are a lot of Skrulls living on Earth. I think that she's a type of Skrull who's very free spirited. She kind of looks like an artist in these set photos. I feel like she came from like a bad background or a poor background. She's just trying to be on her own, live free willed. Maybe she's gonna play a major role later on. Like maybe she has like some type of like power that can match Super Skrull. We hopefully we get more insights on Sword, right? Because Shield's discontinued. You had some thoughts. I'm really interested. Can you speak about those
Yeah,
thoughts?
like I really wonder, like, because we saw Sword at the end of Captain Marvel also. So apparently, and they even mentioned it in Spider-Man: No Way Home. Like, Nick Fury's been off Earth for all this time, so he's probably developing Sword. And we saw a little bit of Sword in on WandaVision too. So it's probably like gonna be like bigger than Shield was. But I think it's interesting now because I was mentioning this earlier discussion because I'm it's kind of cool now that the MCU is kind of evolving and it's not so dependent on the Avengers and Shield anymore. I mean, I kind of miss Shield. I kind of wish they brought it back, but by this time it's already like dismantled because of the whole Hydra situation. But it's cool to see that now that the MCU we're in now, it's kind of just like now it really feels like a comic book universe. We don't really have to go into too much explanation or backstories. Now it's just we can just jump right in. We can have as many crossover events as we want, and then introduce classic characters too, like X-Men, Fantastic Four, Namor. It might be in Wakanda too. But yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, for sure. I think that like Shield, actually going back to that, Shield was like the major OG of everything, and like Agents of Shield was so prominent in the MCU, even if now it's considered kind of not canon, especially with that season 7 finale that kind of places it in a different timeline. There are some rumors actually for Secret Invasion that they might actually make an appearance. I hope not, because that kind of retcons the ending for season 7 of Agents of Shield. Anyway, they like Quake's character, like I just hated like how she would like not use her powers and just like do full kung fu on people, but she could like crack the earth. So, but yeah, I like I said, I think now everything's about contributing to the greater good of the MCU, and unfortunately now we have Sword that's like more sci-fi, and I'm more like into the grounded aspect of humans trying to prevail without like a little bit less technology. That everybody's just trying to fucking kill aliens with Glocks. Now it's like they're probably gonna have like laser cannons and stuff like that right now.
Well, it makes sense because Sword is prevalent because everything now is like because of this expanded universe. Now we had the Eternals, and we're also gonna have Guardians, Thor, so everything is universal now. So it's not just like involving Earth. But I wonder like where Skrulls is gonna take us because everything that happened after Skrulls was just as important as the Skrull event. Because that actually after the Skrull Secret Wars that led to Dark Reign and Siege. That's actually when Norman Osborn took over Shield, and then, or I guess it was Hammer at the time. So I wonder if we're gonna get like something like that, maybe like the Thunderbolts, because I really want to see like what MCU's iteration of the Thunderbolts will look like. Because it is kind of like the Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad. Remember, we still have Zemo in the raft. We still have like a lot of other potential villains that are like still alive at this point, like Vulture, or I can't think of anything right now, but yeah, we still have like a lot of villains that could make like a really cool team out there. But I don't know, we'll just have to see it. But moving on, we still have another Marvel hero we got to talk about. She-Hulk. Give us your news.
So this tea came out a long time ago, but I just want to make a mention of it now. So there's like this leak, take it with a grain of salt, but apparently there's some leaked reports, and it's like substantial leaks for She-Hulk. So apparently She-Hulk, and just go with me, we don't know if this is really true or not, but imagine if it was. Yeah. So She-Hulk, apparently the big changes for Bruce Banner. So apparently Bruce Banner will remain in his like Professor Hulk form for some reason. There's a lot of talk of Scar, his son, that he conceived on Sakaar. So apparently this show, each episode will have an end credit. And apparently the final episode will actually have Bruce returning back to Sakaar on a spaceship, and we're going to see that apparently. So that's like a major one, because we'll possibly get a World War Hulk, or what was it? Just Gladiator Hulk again, just trying to break everyone out, like the true type of like movie that we wanted to see with the Hulk, right? Because that'll be awesome, because Universal has like, they're really strict with Hulk at the moment, you know, and Marvel doesn't really own Hulk. And so it's like I think we're like long overdue for another Hulk movie, and a serious one, like a really destructive Hulk. And apparently, we talked a lot about Moon Knight and Daredevil, and we obviously, spoiler alert for Spider-Man No Way Home, Matthew Murdock showed up there. Apparently Daredevil is gonna like be prominent here, and apparently he's gonna don his yellow and red suit, which is crazy. And I wonder how they're gonna redesign that. I don't know what Dylan's doing. There you go. It's about time. There you go, my friend. So apparently he's gonna don his red and yellow suit, and apparently he's going to have like a romantic fling with She-Hulk, or Jennifer Walters, right? And so that's a little strange because that's on Disney Plus. But we did have
it's a little out of the blue. Yeah, it's a little sudden. But if he finds his way into the MCU, if that's how they got to do it, I'm down for that.
I mean, that's great. And apparently, like she's representing the more meta-human characters, or you know, that like fall victim to like any crime or something like that. So that's who she represents as a lawyer. And so he's still doing his thing, Nelson Murdoch. So that's really cool. He's gonna have a substantial part in there. And apparently she's gonna break the fourth wall. I don't know how they're gonna do this. Apparently they said it's like hit or miss. It's kind of funny, sometimes it's not, but there's gonna be a point where like she's gonna break through the TV screen and she's going to like rewrite a scene and then go back to it. It's like, it can be cheesy. Am I a big fan? Maybe not really. I mean, we did see some photos where like it looked very like, there was like some image that we'll show you right now that was like very like 1970-ish TV show where she's standing with Bruce. So that could like contribute to like, I don't know.
I feel like She-Hulk has a very like select controlled audience. Like there's like some people that like really like her. I wonder if we're gonna see Doc Samson, which is actually I think Bruce Banner's therapist.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about him.
Yeah, so I wonder if he's gonna make an appearance. But I'm down for playing a Hulk. Wouldn't it just be funny if he still found his way to Thor or something?
Goodness,
but maybe he just needs to have his own like time alone. Maybe he's just been like I don't know, but because he has Professor Hulk now, so he's obviously in control of his anger issues.
Do you mind? I mean, we didn't even write this in a list, guys, but I just forgot to mention this. Do you mind if I just mention one more thing, Dylan?
Sure, go ahead.
I'm going to show this on screen right now. There's not much to talk about, but it looks really cool. Here you go, leaked promo image for Thor, Love and Thunder, and we also have Jane Foster Thor, and just Thor. Very unique look, bright blue, bright yellow, and we also have Jane Foster Thor. She looks great as well. So. Yeah,
that's Bay.
That's right. Take us
Can't
away
wait.
With next time.
Did they give a release date for Thor?
Thor: Love and Thunder? I think not really. I think it might come out like around July or June. Don't quote me on that. If anything, the magic of editing, we'll put that right there on the screen for you guys right now. So there you go.
All right. Well, that about wraps up Marvel news. Going into, of course, DC news. So the Batman from Matt Reeves just released a promo scene. I loved it. Akram, I know you're definitely gonna want to talk about it because it's very scary.
It's very
No, it's a very terrifying scene actually. We got to see, the funeral scene. I'm not sure who died in this scene, but we had Bruce Wayne, obviously. We had Detective Gordon, played by Jeffrey Wright. I think he was really good in this scene. We got a little glimpse of the Riddler too, and actually we saw promo images of Penguin and Riddler in their full costumes too, and they look really good too. So, what are your thoughts on the look of it?
Yeah, no, it looks great. Matt Reeves just finished Dolby and IMAX testing. I seen some social media pictures that he put up, so this thing is ready to ship at any moment now. The runtime's 2 hours and 55 minutes. Apparently there's a cut that's like 4 hours. Give me the 4 hour cut. I don't care. If it's great, I'll stay there for 4 hours.
As long as it's not directed by Joss Whedon, I don't care.
Oh boy, yeah, I know. Well, no, we're gonna actually we're gonna have an episode for you guys that's gonna be really cool. It's like delving into more of the psychology of Batman and also just breaking down other characters and his rogues as well, and how that contributes to his psychology, his past. I think this is gonna be a showcase of that. The Joker was great in redesigning the character and kind of making him dangerously relatable. Right, and I think that's the whole point. That's why there wasn't much marketing for that movie, in terms of like figures, stuff like that, because it's not really a character to celebrate. Here, obviously, it's Batman. You're gonna have McFarlane making some toys, but yeah, I can't wait for this film. I think we talked a long time ago about this in a news discussion. Apparently, it's going to be like a trilogy. So like he's starting out, then later on he gets a little older, and then like old Batman, I guess, at the final one. So it's kind of like the Dark Knight trilogy. When you do these films and you focus a lot on Batman, you tend to notice that it's primarily on psychological aspects, because most of those characters are very frightening. They're very scary, and I wanted to convey that in the fact that there's gonna be like Easter eggs interwoven within, as well, with just the psychology of these characters, just like the Joker did, with his laugh and stuff like that. Make it more real world. I think the Riddler, Penguin will probably be the main villains here, but also I think we might get like a Joker tease. There were like some teases and like other promotions and stuff like that.
I doubt it, but I wouldn't be mad if there wasn't. I think Joker's kind of been like pushed too much
A lot,
over the
yeah.
past couple of decades, so I
Always, yeah.
kind of want to break from that. I think it'd be cool to introduce or reintroduce characters like Scarecrow, Poison Ivy, or Bane, or Killer Croc. You know, just like
That'd
the
be cool.
classic rogue villains. But this is definitely the darkest iteration of Batman that we've seen as far as Dark Knight goes. It's definitely gonna be a movie closer in ties with comic storylines, because I think this is based off Year One. And I think Catwoman looks very comic accurate in this movie, so I'm glad to see what Zoe Kravitz brings to this. Colin Farrell also looks great as Penguin too, so it's cool that I think this is gonna be our. Oh well, we had Danny DeVito in the Tom Burton films, but it's cool to see a modern adaptation of the Penguin now. But yeah, I can't wait for this film. I'll watch the 2 hours. Just give me good content. We're gonna see the Batmobile again. It's just gonna be crazy. And then we also have like Flashpoint coming out too. So it's gonna be a wild time for DC. I mean, we always talk about like DC's kind of like inconsistent with their universe, but I think sometimes it works better when they just do solo projects and don't worry too much about continuity. So I think the Batman is going to be a good film. I have high hopes for it, and make sure you guys get those tickets early. Don't be like us with Spider-Man No Way Home.
No, what's that song again from Duo? Like,
that was literally us, December 14th.
is that your next in line?
So get your tickets early, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait for the movie. All right, Akram, what else do you have for us?
Well, these things are kind of like side by side. It's interesting. So if we could mention it briefly, Batgirl, there were some leaked images, and also, well, there was that promo image of her suit finally. I don't know what you guys think about us. Let us know. But I think it looks all right. And I want to know your thoughts later about what you think about it. But they also showed some set photos as well, some set videos of Firefly, Brendan Fraser as Firefly walking out of a burning building.
I knew he was gonna make an appearance somehow.
Yeah, he looks great. And Batgirl, Leslie Thompson. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. She looks great as well. But I wanted to know two things from you. What do you think about the suit? And there's some DCEU news circulating around TikTok and Twitter and all that. And I want you to tell us what you think about that. So,
well, I don't know about the TikTok news that you're referring to.
Okay, well, damn. I'll tell you then later.
But I think the suit looks all right. I love like the leather, like purpley look. I think it looks okay. I'm not like a huge Batgirl fan, but I think this movie will get me more into her character. So is this you said this is going to be related to the Batman movie, or is this kind of like its own entity?
Yeah, so this, which is funny because you mentioned the Flash movie. This is going to take place apparently in Michael Keaton's universe. And
Oh,
so
okay.
it's going to be a film on HBO Max. And I thought it was going to be a miniseries, but no, it's for sure a film. Um, yeah, it's weird because also they casted Commissioner Gordon, I'll say JJ Abrams, and I'll say J. Jonah Jameson. You know, that guy I'm talking about. He's basically J. Jonah Jameson. But he's going to be in it as well as Commissioner Gordon. Um, it's strange because I'm thinking, okay, the Flash is going to be a leeway to like bring Michael Keaton's Batman back into the light, and finally we get to see like, oh, what's up with him? What's been going on with you, buddy? And he's gonna get a sidekick. I bet it's most likely gonna be Batgirl, no Robin. I don't know. You know how like the DC movies, they like to reinvent stuff on the
Yeah,
fly. Which
reinvent the wheel.
the TikTok thing I was gonna tell you, which you already know, was that apparently there was some leaks that so Ben Affleck's last film is The Flash.
Oh yeah,
Right? And so now we're going to have apparently Batgirl, and we're also going to have Supergirl lead the DCEU.
which I
And
think is weird.
yeah,
It's
tell us
very
your
weird.
thoughts.
I'm see. I wasn't crazy about the Zack Snyder cut, but I think if you're I was Henry Cavill like was he optimistic about returning as Superman?
No.
Because I know Affleck
That's why he
wasn't.
took different projects. No.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, but I don't know. It's just kind of weird because like they haven't really set up the Justice League, so to bring in like Supergirl and Batgirl as like the leads, like because we haven't even got like a Green Lantern, we haven't even got I don't know. It's just like it feels so out of place for them to like doing like creative stuff or like experimental stuff this early. So I kind of wish like they'd had more time to develop the Justice League movies more before we do something like crazy like Flashpoint, because you're basically like just rebooting the whole like it kind of like I there's some DC films that I didn't care for too much, like Batman vs Superman, Wonder Woman 84. Aquaman was okay in my opinion. Shazam I loved, and I can't wait for Black Adam. But it's weird that they're just like totally like scrapping the whole book, and they're just saying, well, fuck it, now we gotta start from square one and restart everything. I mean, it opens up new doors. I guess they could start over, but then it's like now you really have to up your game, and you can't because your fan base already at this point has low expectations, so it's like going from there like. What are you really going to do? But what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, the whole thing became convoluted, really. I feel like a lot of people, I mean, DC stands for Detective Comics in the first place, and I feel like they messed up Batman, and I think it was Zack's fault. I mean, if that was a different universe, Batman, let's just say, then okay, I'm down, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Batman killing people, or like kind of
I wasn't crazy about it either.
Yeah, it's just like I am a big fan of Ben Affleck. I didn't like him too much in Justice League, except the Snyder Cut. I really enjoyed him in the Snyder Cut. But yeah, they're like all over the place, and I feel like they need to like take a pause and really try to expand on individual characters to kind of build to the point where like it's like this big moment where everyone has to get together. And like I'm all down for like female leads in movies that. Nobody has an issue with that. The thing is, like, sometimes companies, they try to go on trends, and the trends feel really forced, and there's no substance to it. You know what I mean? It's just cuz. And I don't feel like that's right, because they deserve to work their way there. They deserve, like, to have that lore imprinted on them later on, that struggle, so we could see like, yeah, they broke the barriers, and look, now we're here.
Mm-hmm.
This felt like really just one of those things, a PR stunt kind of, and like, yeah, let's just do it this way.
We haven't even seen her on screen yet, and now all of a sudden she's apparently leading the Justice League. Like, at least like, let the audience react first, before you like suddenly like push her in this lead role, like, because like what if her character or what if her movie sucks, and then it's just like, well, do I really care for her, or to like Supergirl too? Like, I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, it's they really need to like simmer down, and I think also they're trying to keep up with Marvel. I mean, that's the main competitor. It's like I feel like they're really trying to keep up with like the multiversal things as well. And so how you're gonna have I'm pretty sure that Supergirl is like in Keaton's universe, because we did see some set photos of like her hovering above like a scene where like Michael Keaton's like standing directly there or something. So I think both these characters somehow like cross over. I'm not a big fan of this. It's going way too quick. Cause that's the thing. Like every movie that comes out, like Aquaman, right? Like what did Aquaman contribute to, like, let's say a big event? Nothing really, right? The only movie that'll contribute something huge is The Flash, because the Justice League was kind of like, it wasn't good. And anyway, Snyder Cut was better, but is that really canon? I don't think so. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. And they never expanded on the Flash either. You know, these characters are just like, let's throw them in a big ass event, and then let's just hope for the best, and people will like it. You know, and I don't think that's storytelling. I think that's really rushed, and every character deserves that time to struggle, gain experience, and we follow them along the journey, right? And that's how you love a character. That's why the MCU does so great, because now it feels like it's a really well lived in world, almost like an amusement park, you know. And that's something that really comes right here. And I think DC's doing a horrible job, and it sucks because I love DC comics. So what do you think?
Yeah, everything you said is totally true. Yeah, I think definitely they're trying too hard to mimic Marvel, and I kind of wish they'd stop. I kind of want them to like focus, because that's why DC animated movies, which we're gonna have an episode later down the line, are like so much like, some people even put them more superior to like Marvel animated shows, because like DC like animated shows, they really like take care of their characters and their properties, and they really flesh them out to make them seem relevant. And the thing about the DCEU is just like, it's so rushed, and it doesn't feel developed. And it's just like the last big movie that came out, Justice League, I think, or maybe it was Shazam, I forgot. But Justice League just left a bad taste in my mouth, to the point
Yeah.
where it's like I didn't really care too much for any of the later projects. And like you said, like they're trying too hard to mimic the multiverse stuff, but you know, that's Marvel's thing, that they've earned the right to go that far, because you know they've had more than fuck, I don't even know if it's like 18 movies now,
More,
where they really
yeah.
like fleshed out these
Yeah.
characters. You know, they've given them like at least like 3 like big events. So we've barely had one big DC event too. So it's like why not? Why? Because Marvel now is kind of like at like, it's still big, but it's like at a vulnerable point because the Avengers are done now. So it's like, why not take the time for, you know, Marvel to wrap up these big stories, and then take advantage of the time that they're not putting out so much content, and then that's when you go back, you develop these, you know, Justice League characters, and then that's when you become like the next, you know, big event, if that's what you're really going for, you know. But I don't really know what I mean, the strongest shows right now, I mean, Suicide Squad was amazing. Peacemaker, I love that show. So that's the only thing that really like sticks with me. As far as like DC, actually, I will give, like, DC does villains really well compared to Marvel. I will give them that. But it's so weird how they're crafting it, and you know, we're gonna talk about Joss Whedon in a minute. It's just like a lot of like controversy surrounding like, you know, directors. Like, you know, obviously Zack Snyder is a big controversy right now, but I don't know, it's a weird time. But yeah, so what are your final thoughts on it?
My final thoughts are brief. I think that if you work hard enough for something, you get an award. Or as Jake Gyllenhaal said in Nightcrawler, if you want to win a lottery, you got to make the money to buy the ticket. And that's my final thoughts.
That's my final thoughts. Moving on. So yeah, I mentioned the Joss Whedon thing. So apparently he is well, not under investigation, but he's facing allegations of worker misconduct. Apparently because he wanted Gal Gadot in Justice League to shoot some weird sexual scene with the Flash, and Gal wasn't comfortable with it. And I don't know what Joss Whedon is doing, man. He had such a good rep with Avengers, and now he's just fallen from grace. But apparently, like, he's getting shit from the Buffy cast too. Like they said, like,
I know.
he was like making like some toxic moves like on set. So I don't know what the fuck is going on with there, dude. But what do you think?
I think I stand with Joss Whedon. I think we need to represent.
Welcome to the last episode of the Lunch Table Podcast.
No, I mean, yeah. Look, this happens in the industry. The industry is de-evolving. It just always happens, unfortunately. And I'm glad that a lot of people are trying to kind of like showcase this more. That, like, you know, say like, yeah, this guy is a prick or whatever. At the same time, too, it's really hurtful towards the industry. obviously to blame is you got to blame Joss Whedon. So I just wish that all these creators and directors and wonderful imaginations kind of like just fucking, behave appropriately, right? You learn that when you're young. Don't be an asshole, right? It's a work environment. And unfortunately, he didn't do that since Buffy. I don't know about Firefly. But
It's a shame because I love Firefly too.
I never watched Firefly actually. I have to get around to it one day.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna get you on it one day. But
and
yeah,
Serenity too, right?
Yeah, it's a shame. It's an abuse of power. We've heard this tale dozens of times, but unfortunately, it keeps happening. Looking at wonder what Kevin Spacey's up to nowadays. Oh, he's probably in jail.
Kevin Spacey. He just did a film with an Italian director.
Oh, really?
Recently, yeah. He's coming back to doing films. I think that's his only film.
Not good.
Yeah.
Guess we are de-evolving as an industry.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just it's a shame because the way Joss Whedon responded to was such like an asshole move because he said like she didn't understand apparently because that was like English wasn't her first language. I'm like, fuck you, Joss Whedon. Like, what a toxic motherfucker. But ugh. All right, let me get the taste of that tea out of my mouth. Moving on, we got some cool releases coming out this year. Boys Season 3 announced for release on June 3rd of this year. We got a little sneak peek of Anthony Starr's Homelander during that press interview. That's how we look during our podcast sometimes. And we got a cute little advertisement from the Deep. He's switched from Fresca to Liquid Death.
I seen that.
But yeah, I can't wait. I love The Boys Season 2. I think it ended on such a good cliffhanger. What are your thoughts, Akram?
The Boys is like, I wish we were around the time when The Boys Season 2 was out so we could do like week by week reviews. I can't wait to do it for Season 3. I gotta read the comic books, man. I think that's gonna be really fun to like actually get into because it's really like there are a lot of parts that's like different from the comics. And the comics I didn't know, it's like there's so much depth and there's just so much material to take from. And I can't wait because I heard that there's going to be one episode that's called Herogasm, and it's going to be like episode 6 or 8, something like that. It's going to be insane. I'm pretty sure really gratuitous by the sounds of it. I don't even know what Herogasm is, so I'm trying to stay away from spoilers. Jensen Ackles, sorry.
Oh yeah, my boy Jensen.
Yeah,
back.
I was just gonna say,
not back, but reintroduced as Soldier Boy. So he is from the comics too. So yeah, I think I have the first 2 volumes of The Boys. But yeah, it's a very mature show. If anybody is a fan of Peacemaker, it's very like similar to that style. The first 2 seasons are great. I think Amazon really like kicked off their streaming service with The Boys. So it's a great show if you want to get into like more mature superhero films like Invincible or Peacemaker 2. But yeah, I can't wait to see everybody back. What's his name? Billy Butcher.
The fucking diabolical.
I wonder what's gonna happen with Stormfront too. But
oh yeah,
yeah,
Cyborg or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a great show. What else? We have another superhero show coming out. Fans of the Umbrella Academy.
Oh yeah.
You got a little reveal on their Instagram. I think their Twitter too. But we're getting the Sparrow Academy teaser. So that was a cliffhanger at the end of season 2, where the Umbrella Academy, came back from their timeline, and then I guess now Reginald formed this new team. It's close to the comics. The Sparrow Academy, I think that's their official name in the comics, but I think they're good guys actually in the comic books. Because in the storyline, the Umbrella Academy actually had their villains all released from this like kind of like null void prison, and then they had to get help from the Sparrow Academy. But I think they're kind of like twisting it so like the Sparrow Academy are like villains. But we saw like a couple that are like similar to the characters. We have one called Puke, where she can like puke like laser beams, like this black laser beam from her mouth. We saw one guy with the glasses and trench coat. I think he turns like into like birds or whatever, but that's close to the comics too. And they're all like numbered too, like the Umbrella Academy. So they're not, because remember, in the Umbrella Academy, like there were, forget how many, there was like all these children were like born on the same day. So we were wondering like what happened to all these other children with these superpowers. So now because we kind of saw that with that one girl from that damn, I forgot all the characters' names. That hasn't been a minute. The handler's daughter. She had superpowers too. She could mimic all the Umbrella Academy's powers. But that was the only other one that we saw. So we're gonna see more of, you know, what are these other superhero beings doing in this time. So it's really interesting. I love Umbrella Academy. I think it's a good show too. It's kind of like, it's mature too, but it's kind of like quirky and funny too. But Akram, do you have any other news?
Well, yeah, I can't wait for that. When is that coming out? Did they say?
I don't think we got a release date,
Yeah, I don't think
but
I've heard of one, but yeah,
yeah.
I can't wait to see the characters make a return. It's been a minute, more so than the boys. I feel, because it always feels like a minute. The last news I really have is the Microsoft acquisition. They took over Activision. That's like huge news because $69 billion. You know, and Sony stock has like plummeted, and a lot of people are like pulling out from the stocks. A lot of people are saying like this is a good moment to like actually invest in Sony because they're gonna do something wild. I don't know. I think it's about time. I mean, it's now like the whole thing, the whole uh tactic is like to be really aggressive. That's like PlayStation's thing, right? They're like really aggressive for like certain characters or IPs. And I feel like now Microsoft is like they have like the wheel finally, and they're gonna like take over Call of Duty for sure. That like earns Sony so much money because that was like a PlayStation exclusive. So which is funny because I remember back then Call of Duty was like always like Call of Duty like Xbox exclusive, and now it's like PlayStation exclusive. So it's going back. World of Warcraft also, that's a big one. They're taking over. I wonder if they're going to be like generous with like PlayStation owners, or they're gonna like go full aggressive Succession style, like hostile, and like really. It'll be smart of them because really, like I feel like they're lacking in like these big AAA games. Because how many can you name? Gears of War, Halo, and Forza. And then the
Right.
rest is indie. I mean, that's nice. You know, they're giving like a highlight to like indie games and stuff like that. But I think really they gain more money with like these exclusives from Activision. And so I wanna get an excuse to play my Xbox. I don't really play my Xbox that much. So yeah,
Yeah, I've got a Xbox X or S just sitting on
mm.
my on top of my PlayStation 4 collecting dust.
It's a dust cover. Well, what do you think about this news?
It's interesting. Yeah, like you said, it's like I think PlayStation just making aggressive moves. They're just really taking over, really. So I guess, you know, out of desperation, you know, Xbox got to do what they got to do. But I mean, it's still the PC market too, so it's not all that bad. But especially, it's just weird at the timing because, you know, PlayStation with the limit of PlayStation 5s that they
That's
have right
true.
now.
Oh, it's
So
so
it's kind of weird
aggressive.
timing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So I wonder what's up with that. Maybe it was just like misplaced timing, but because right now I think everybody's still like, because they're still producing PS4s, right?
I think they went back to like producing more just to keep up with the demand of PS5s. It's like weird, yeah.
So it's like you're gonna have to make more PS4 games, I guess, then until
Oh
you
god. We're de-evolving.
you're de-evolving. But yeah, I don't have too much thoughts on it. But moving on, uh, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power.
Oh yeah.
We got a little sneak peek into what's going on. JD Payne and Patrick McKay are the showrunners. They did Star Trek Beyond. So I'm actually interested in this because I'm a big Tolkien fan. I'm starting to read the Silmarillion actually. So this actually takes place in the Second Age after Sauron's defeat. So this is actually, I think takes place like before, because the Peter Jackson movies actually take place in the Third Age. And I think that's like right after Hobbit too. So they're going more into lore with this, which is really cool. So we get like the tales of the Numenor, the alliance of like the men and elves, like really like deep into lore too. So, and we're gonna see like the forging of the 19 rings given to men, elves, and dwarves. But I wonder how this show is gonna look as far as like just like aesthetic. Like, is it gonna look more like The Witcher or like, I don't know, Game of Thrones? But are you a big Tolkien fan at all?
I'm not, unfortunately. I feel like that ship has sailed because so much like lore. I mean, the movies you could catch up, but like there's just so much. Like if you really are a big fan of like just reading it. I'm excited for the show though because I know it's kind of like in a different era, right? And first of all, I'm more excited because this show is like the most expensive show ever made, apparently. Other than The Last of Us coming on HBO Max, this show's like worth like $500 million. the whole season or something like that. So like that's crazy. That's like the most, and that's Amazon Prime. That's like crazy expensive to do even a fucking movie. So that's like, I wonder why. Are we just gonna see like beautiful cliffs? That's it for 500 mil. But I'm excited though. Do you know like much about like what the show will really be about? Like certain characters or like certain start of like certain movements? A lot
I
of
mean, if
questions.
it's being close to lore, it's kind of just like leading up to, so at this point, I think during the Second Age, I think because Sauron's already dead, but we still have the Nazgul. The orcs are kind of just like still around, so it's kind of like a tension right now because like men obviously fell for the temptation of the ring. So there's kind of like an uneasiness between the elves and the men. So it's kind of, and the dwarves kind of like distrust the elves too. So we kind of saw that in the Hobbit movies too. But yeah, I wonder if it's just gonna be like maybe like we follow like because I wonder what's gonna happen with Gondor, like the fall of Gondor. And Rohan was always like my favorite like kingdom in the Tolkien universe, just because like the ride of Rohan.
The with Adam Sandler, right? The Zohan. Just spaces out. That's cool.
The ride of Zohan. He like kicks all the doors.
Yeah.
That's bulla. But yeah, it's a cool show. I'm a big fantasy lore kind of guy. I don't really play Dungeons and Dragons that much. I wish I did, but I don't have friends. But it looks cool, so I can't wait for that. And then the last news, well, we have more news actually, but in TV show news, so this is actually a big one because I'm actually a big fan of this. So in Doctor Who news, apparently there's a rumor going out that David Tennant will be returning as the Doctor for Series 14, which is really interesting. And also Russell T Davies, the original show writer, I think for like, it was Series 1 and 2. He's also coming back too, so I made a joke about this earlier. I was like, the ratings must be really low if you have to bring him back. But yeah, and actually, he's not going to be returning as the 10th Doctor. He's actually going to be taking over Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, and he's going to be the 14th Doctor. So this is really interesting because we haven't seen David actually since the 50th anniversary special with Matt Smith. And then obviously he retired the role in 2010 as the 10th Doctor. So it's kind of weird because like, I don't know how they're going to do it because this is the first time we've had a reincarnation revert back to an older reincarnation. I don't know if you know much about Dr. Who, Akram.
No, but by the sounds of that seems kind of weird. There must be some. I mean, obviously it has to fit the story. I'm wondering, like, what went wrong? Did something go wrong? It's kind of hard to spin that. Like, okay, we have this famous character. I mean, this famous actor that everybody loves. Like, how can we bring him back? That must be a challenge for the writing team. So I'm wondering, like, what's the deal?
The writing hasn't been too good. I mean, I haven't been following the series since Matt Smith left. I watched a few Peter Capaldi episodes, but the writing kind of like fell off. Stephen Moffat, I don't really know where he was going with Jodie's character, and like some of the companions just didn't like stick for me. I don't know. It just didn't. It lost its charm for me after I think season 11 or series 11. So, but I love David Tennant. He was a great Doctor. So hopefully, it's just weird. I'm just wondering how they're gonna do it because it's like, is he gonna be the same Doctor like that he was? It's because it's like, it's kind of weird too. Because like, I kind of like wanted him to stay gone. Like it was a very sad and emotional like how he departed, but that was his run. So it's like, why not give the run to somebody else? Or just because the Doctor, it's kind of like James Bond, like it's like pass the torch. It's like new blood. It's weird. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I'm a big Doctor Who fan, still loyal to this day. But we'll just have to see. And then as far as the last news, we got to represent my boy, Andrew Garfield. This has been his year this year, 2021. So he won the Golden Globe for Best Actor in Tick, Tick, Boom. So I wonder if he's going to get a nomination because we're having a Oscar, predictions episode coming really soon. So I wonder if he's going to get a nomination because I think he was also in The Eyes of Tammy Faye. He was also in Mainstream 2 and of course, Spider-Man, but they don't give Oscars for Marvel movies.
Oh, congratulations to him. Yeah, he's a great
congratulations.
actor. Phenomenal.
Yeah, he's awesome. Akram and I both watched Tick Tick Boom. So it was an awesome film. But yeah, any final thoughts, Akram?
No, that's No, it's been great finally getting to do another news discussion. I can't wait for you. Like I said earlier, I can't wait for you guys to see what else we have coming forward. It's going to be great. February, March is going to be really, I'd say, like an experimental phase of the Lunch Table podcast. Because kind of like a dry spell with things to review and whatnot and events wise. So, keep a close eye out for that. And again, please support our pages. Dylan put up a link tree so you guys could go straight to that. So
we have a few reviews coming out. I think we have Uncharted and Morbius.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
But we're gonna, like Akram said, we're gonna do some cool episodes for you guys. So we're gonna do a collectibles episode. We're gonna do a DC animated, like our top favorite DC animated films. We're gonna do a top 20 or top 15, I think, Marvel movies outside the MCU. So these are non-MCU movies. So it's gonna be cool. We got a lot of fun stuff planned for you guys. So make sure you like, subscribe, keep an eye out. We're gonna get Apple Podcasts running up. So till then, guys, thanks for having lunch with us.
See you guys.